Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
See how this goes.
Yeah, I haven't prepared at all. It could go. It could.
We'll record it. Gross.
Oh, sorry, I'm still laughing.
Sound like a fart. Shell fart.
Oh,
Shark.
you made
That's where the
it.
word shark comes from. Did you know?
All right. Woo, big week ahead, boys. Are your bags packed? Are you ready, Luis?
Not really.
Are you bringing sunscreen?
I don't burn. My Mexican skin just a nice little toast.
Yeah.
Welcome to Florida, buddy.
Famous last words.
Yeah, you're going to be on the equator.
Yeah, what? He goes to Mexico. Do you think Mexico's north of us?
I think that Key West is pretty far south.
I would think that where Louise normally goes in Mexico is
More scorchy?
latitude similar to Key West, if not lower.
All right, well, let's oil them up then. Forget sunscreen.
Yeah, that's a small price
Let's
to
see
pay.
how golden brown we can get Luis.
Racism is a small price to pay to not burn. That's what I say. So, what's your city in Mexico?
Oh, I thought you were asking me. I was like, also
You can find a Guadalajara, right?
Yeah, no, it's really like, I mean, I guess it's more humid in the beach towns, obviously, but like Puerto Vallarta, that gets it's pretty rough.
It's south. It's not it's like level with Cuba. You're on the same latitude as like Havana. So there you go. But 90 miles away, baby, from Key West, so pretty close.
Yeah, we should swim to Cuba.
You're not even going to swim this bullshit. That's 27 miles. That's 90.
How far is... No, that's 90? Yeah, and that's not the kind of waters I want to swim in. Someone did it, though.
There's a marker in Key West.
Yeah.
You'll see it. It's an obligatory picture you're going to have to take, Louise, if it's your first time to Key West.
Yeah, you got to wait in the line.
It's the southernmost point of the United States, and you're 90 miles from Cuba there. But it's like there's like a black and red like buoy looking thing. And it says southernmost point of the United States.
Yeah.
That's where they always do the hurricane footage from.
Yeah.
They're like, I guess coming. Yeah.
Yeah. If that island gets blown away, it'll be the only thing left is that one buoy just sitting there.
Which I thought the dry Tortugas were further south. Like maybe I'm just in my head.
Well, yeah, but the dry because you're saying of the United States.
Yeah,
but that's just like that's not a.
Oh no, they're not.
Oh really?
I always thought they're a little bit up north, just north. See, they're like off the tip there.
But those are like parishes in the United States, right? Or territories.
It's a national park, Marquesas Keys, and yeah.
Okay.
The dry turtles. That's what I call them. The dry turtles. It's weird
Smart.
that they're the dry Tortugas. Like it's like English. It's Spanglish.
It's such a cool pirate saying. The Tortugas. That's what
Never
you're
heard of
saying.
pirates in it.
Yeah. You haven't heard that? Where he's like, hey, we're set sail for the Tortugas. To hit our treasure.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited. We're leaving super early Tuesday morning.
Very
We're
early.
getting hammered on the airplane.
You guys live near the
We're
airport.
gonna
I have to get up at like 3.
You can sleep on my couch that night if you want. You'll sleep on my couch.
No, I'm old. I don't want to sleep on your couch.
I sleep on my couch every night. I keep falling asleep out there.
All right. Well, you and your wife sleep on the couch. I'll sleep in your guys' bed.
No, my wife's not going to be down with that. I'm my back is starting to hurt because I've fallen asleep. It's such a dad move. I'm just like, I'll go to bed in 1 minute. I'm just going to play Wordle. And I'm done till 5 a.m. I wake up like, shit, I did it again.
You solved Wordle?
I'm so good at Wordle.
Do people still play Wordle?
Dude, Wordle.
Not Words with Friends, Wordle.
Yeah.
I do Wordle. I do Quirtle. I do Words with Friends.
Spelling Bee?
I don't do Spelling Bee. Now there's a new one called Connections. Connections is very fun. And then I do. There's also one called. There's a new one called Symbol something or other, and that's really hard. I'm not a big fan of that, but
I do Spelling Bee every day.
Waffle is my favorite one. I really like Waffle.
It's all in the New York Times thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you do crosswords?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, not a big crossword guy. I used to like reading the funny papers.
Okay, we're good. We're good with that stuff. Let's move on. We're going to Florida. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, Key West, get them. And Dania, the other shows are sold out. People are buying tickets to Dania now. That's gonna fill up. I have a lot of people saying.
Yeah, Miami's already sold out. Sorry, snooze you lose. I had some people hit me up. I was like, wah, wah.
Tell them to go to Dania.
Yeah, it's a little far for them.
Tough shit.
Yeah, but I do have people coming out to Dania. Key West. Should have maybe done one night in Key West, huh?
Well, I don't know. Is it not going well?
I don't know. I don't have a clue. It's just hard to get 2 nights, a Wednesday and a Thursday. I don't know. Whatever. We're going to have fun.
We're locked in, baby.
Let's go.
We're locked in with a guarantee of $2 million each for those shows.
Man,
it's good.
It's going to be sweet life after this.
$100.
There you go. I'm trying to get all this stuff done before we leave. I've been knee deep in dad mode. I called the city for 2 different things yesterday. That's when when you're looking on your city's website.
What were they?
So one the trash. All right, so it's actually kind of connected. There was a tree root that was messing up the sidewalk. So the city came out and they tore down a couple trees on my street, which is really sad. Don't get me started on that. But the one tree right by my house, they were able to just cut the root back and not cut the tree down. And so when they did that, though, they actually...
Is this going to get more interesting? Or is this gonna be boring?
Actually, wait. I'm completely backwards. I got this wrong. Yeah. The tree... There's this illegal parking spot that I park in all the time. All right. It's like red curb right by my neighbor's driveway, in between my 2 neighbors' driveway. My Jeep fits there perfect, and I've never gotten a ticket for it. It's like everyone on my street knows that's Dave's parking spot. So I always park there. Yeah. Then I was out of town, and a guy was moving, and he backed his U-Haul into the tree and destroyed the tree. So it was just a stump there. So then they came out, the city did, and they pulled the stump out. And when they did that, they had to like redo the curb and everything. When they redid the curb, they didn't paint it red. So now all these people have been parking there. Like,
so you want them to paint it red so you can park it there?
Yes. Yes.
So you're pretending to be like upset about this?
Yes. Yeah, because this is what happened. Do you know how when like Pablo Escobar ran the cartel in Colombia.
Yes.
And like, even though he was all, it was crime and it wasn't right and he was a drug lord, whatever.
Planes, yeah.
Yeah, but at least he cared about Colombia and he
he was killing people in Colombia.
Yeah, but there was an ecosystem, right? Okay. And then when they busted Pablo Escobar, then all these other cartels came in and they didn't give a fuck about, Colombia and the ecosystem. So then things got even worse because at least the bad guy who was in control before, that's how I feel about this parking spot. Because when I was parking there, I knew not to park there on trash night so that everyone could put their trash cans out. And I knew that my car wouldn't impede on the driveways. Now just everyone's parking there and they're doing it so disrespectfully and it's just gotten out of control. So anyways, I couldn't put my garbage can where it's supposed to go, and they didn't pick up my garbage this week. And so now I had to call the city for the garbage too and tell them come pick up my garbage, and they haven't come back yet. And they wouldn't even let me do it because my name's not on. I don't own the house, but my neighbor's name was on the council. I was had to get my neighbor to call for me. It's just a whole huge mess, Forrest.
An easy thing to do would not do this at all.
Well, my trash smells terrible. I need that out of there, and I got them to come and paint. They painted it this morning. So that we can fix that problem. Yeah. And did you know I was Joe Public in Miami-Dade?
I don't know what Joe Public is.
I was like the spokesperson for 311 or whatever.
I just blocked it out of my brain. Yeah, we talked about this. You're on a bus.
I got paid $0 for that.
Yeah, no, you talked about it. Yeah,
I did.
You're upset, but
I was really upset.
Now you're trying to get your money back through whatever the fuck this is.
No, just talking about local government.
Second quarter.
All right. Well, speaking of dad.
Is today the day?
Yeah, my dad listens to this podcast. For those of you who don't know, I had not spoken to my dad for many, many years until recently. And we don't speak a lot, but we communicate now. And he listens to our podcast, and he said that, hey, I don't know if he offered or I don't know what's going on, but I said we could call him one day and talk to him.
What's his name?
Slayton Shaw.
That's a strong name.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's not gonna be a long call. Maybe like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
I know some things about my dad. I don't know a lot. I don't know everything about my dad.
Is there anything you want me to ask on your behalf?
You can ask whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
I won't be rude.
Yeah,
When am I ever rude to anybody?
I mean, all the time.
I'm everyone's friend.
So here we go. We're going to call Slayton here.
Okay.
And here we go.
Hello.
Hey there. It's Forrest. You're on the Mermen podcast.
Oh, hey. How you doing, Forrest?
Yeah, you know Dave Williamson here? You've seen the podcast, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Hey, Slayton. Good to meet you, buddy.
Hey, Dave. All right. Did you go to Palmetto High School?
I did. Miami Palmetto High School, along with Jeff Bezos and Kimbo Slice.
Yeah. Oh, really? Jeff Bezos went there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really strange because, Forrest went to Coral Gables, which I went to Southwest.
Oh, yeah.
And Coral Gables was our arch rival. You know. We've never beat them in football. We only tied them one time. But
did you play? Did you play football? Were you an athlete?
No, I was a nerd. So there was no such word back then. But I was a nerd. But
you're doing good. You got right into the podcast right away.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Yeah. Those are like old school Miami. There was like 5 high schools back in the day, and there was the different. My mom went to Coral Park, I think.
Yeah, that's where my brother went. Now, Forrest's mom went to Palmetto.
Yeah, briefly.
And
briefly, then she went to Carrollton. Well, she was Carrollton and Palmetto. And
okay.
And then she was. Yeah.
Yeah, they were private school kids, you know. They were entitled children back then. So.
Yeah, well, then she dropped out and got her GED, and then went to college. So.
Yeah. Well, I've told Forrest this story before, but I grew up in Miami, and just outside the Coral Gables High School limits, in south near Coral Terrace, and my next door neighbor was Ricky McVicker, who we grew up there as kids until the family got too big and they moved out someplace. Well, it turns out that Mickey McVicker married Forrest's mom's best friend from life, who they went to Carrollton together and went to. And it was just amazing that I married his mother, and my next door neighbor married his best girlfriend. And, you know, none of us ever knew anybody, you know, like that. It was just really, really uncanny.
Well, she's coming out to the Dania Improv to see us, Laura. For real, she's coming
on September 24th.
24th, yeah, she's coming out there, Laura.
Good,
that's what's cool about Miami, though. Miami, for being a big city, is really a small place. Like everybody, there's always so many connections, and everyone knows everybody. But it's a big city.
Yeah. The personalities that went to Southwest was Gloria Estefan. Am I saying that right? And the guy who directed Silence of the Lambs. Those are the two big names that went to Southwest Miami High School.
Who directed that? Ted Demme. There's Ted Demme, who directed Silence of the Lambs, or Ted?
Yeah, Demme. Yeah, Demme.
Oh, well, I don't want to brag, but I am on the Wikipedia page under notable alumni now for Palmetto High School.
Wow. Did you write that in, or did somebody else?
Wrote it down several times, and they kept erasing it, and then someone finally spoke up on my behalf, and now it's stuck.
Yeah, you can't edit your own Wikipedia information.
No, I tried.
Submit your. So, yeah.
So where do you live now?
I live in Enterprise, Alabama.
Oh, I know Enterprise.
The home of the Bull Weevil Monument, the only monument dedicated to a bug.
I went to Auburn University, and I have a friend who randomly ended up in Enterprise. He's probably out the town. I think he's got like 12 kids.
What's his name?
John Hilb.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Okay.
But it is small. It is small town. It's 25,000, 30,000 people in the city, and but it still has that small town atmosphere and pace and everything like that, which I like. I mean, I like Alabama. I don't like Miami that much anymore.
So when was the last time you lived in Miami?
Lived in Miami? I would say 1977.
Oh, a long time.
Lived, yeah. And that's when Forrest was born in 72. So he and I got separated about that time because I went to live in Vegas for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I was in the military. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because Forrest and I talked about getting on the podcast before, and you all had one where you talked about knowing each other, you knowing Forrest and Forrest knowing you, and things that you knew about, that you thought you knew about Forrest.
Yeah.
But one of the things came up was birthdays and trying to remember memorable birthdays. The most memorable one of Forrest for me was when he turned 12.
Yeah.
Because I was in the Army then, and I was stationed in Germany, and I got in touch with Forrest. I said, Forrest, what do you want for your birthday? I said, I'd like to bring you over to Germany. I said, what do you want to do? And he says, all I wanted to see was the Black Forest. And I mean, there's so much to see, but that was
I thought it was a black person that had the same name as me. So nah, just kidding.
Looks exactly like you.
Yeah, just kidding. Not in Germany, at least. There wouldn't be,
but that was our first stop that we did. We lived where I lived in Germany at the time was probably a good 5 or 6 hour drive to get to the Black Forest, and we went there and we bought cuckoo clocks, and then we did other stuff. We went to Garmisch.
I bought a cuckoo clock for my grandfather, and yeah. All right. Well, look, I want you to tell. I'm gonna tell a story that you told me. You have a question? Okay. Another question?
No, good.
Oh, I thought you wanted to ask him about me being a comedian or something.
I mean, I do, but go with it.
Okay. One. So we hadn't talked in a long time, and I don't know how many years ago. It was right before my mom passed away that reached out to you and we started talking again. And you told me, you said, if you ever come across a picture of me in Life magazine with Frank Sinatra, right? It was Life magazine?
I don't know if it was Life or Look. It was one of those, weekly magazines.
Yeah. You said to let you know, me going through any of the stuff that, like, any of the document stuff, and I was like, what the?
Yeah.
And then you told me the story of how that happened, where you were in a band at the, was it the Fountain Blue or the?
No, it was at Jilly's. Jilly Rizzo was Frank Sinatra's best friend growing up. Yeah. And Jilly had a club in New York, and then the one in Miami, which was called Jilly South. And it had 2 rooms. It had a jazz room and it had a rock and roll room. And I was in a band called The Kids. Yeah. And
you're a keyboard player, right?
Yes, a keyboard player.
And you told me they had a party that night, and it was for a birthday party for a comedian.
For a comedian that Frank Sinatra played him his life story in a movie.
Oh,
I don't know what the movie. It was Joey Lewis.
And, don't know him. We're comedians. We should know these people, but I don't know. But then he asked, he was going to get up and sing him happy birthday, correct? And then
right, they had the party in the rock and roll room.
Yeah.
And Dean Martin was there, Mia Farrow was there, Jackie Gleason was there, Joe Namath was. Did I say Joe Namath already?
Yeah.
But so we had just done a set, and then we broke the set. So we were still on stage, and with all our instruments and everything. And Frank comes up and he stands right in front of me on a handheld microphone, talking about the birthday and everything. And he wanted to sing "Happy Birthday." So he said, he asked me, just give him a chord, whatever it was, E or F or C. I don't remember what it was. But I was playing, at that time, a Hammond organ. And
and then he sang "Happy Birthday" while you played, right? The
photographer came around and took the photograph.
Yeah.
And there I am standing up behind him. And we wore costumes back then, like the Little Rascals. We were like in Little Lord Fauntleroy costumes.
Yeah.
And there I was standing in this Little Lord Fauntleroy costume with Frank Sinatra standing in front of me, singing "Happy Birthday," or maybe he was just talking to the photographer. But I had that photograph. I clipped it out, and I had it in a photo album that was just of my band career at the house.
Yeah.
And when Julie's mom and I got divorced, I forgot all about getting it, and then I thought about it years later and asked about it, and she either shredded it or burned it, when on the compost pile or whatever, because we were hippies back then, so everything was
burn it up.
Everything was organic. Forrest wasn't allowed to have sugar. He could drink alcohol, but he couldn't have sugar. So,
as a kid,
I don't remember drinking alcohol, but sure, if you say so. Yeah,
I'm kidding. He couldn't have sugar. Everything was organic.
Yeah,
I had organic toilet paper back in the 70s.
I can't believe you can't get a copy of that pic. That's like.
Yeah, we'll get our listeners on it. If anyone could find a photograph of Slayton Shaw in Time magazine with Frank Sinatra.
I don't know if it's Time. It might be Life.
Oh, yeah.
It's either Look or Life. And it happened in Life or Look. It happened in late 69 or early 70s.
69.
The comedian
Joey
was
Lewis, right?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Can I tell you? Tell you funny?
You should. No, that's all you get today is one story.
Stop it. You can tell whatever story you want, Slayton.
I was going to tell you a Frank Sinatra story. I was going to tell you a Nancy Sinatra story.
I just want to stop for a second and say, like, I can't believe you don't have this photo anymore. This is arguably one of the coolest things that happened to you ever, and you're just like, anyways, I lost that photo.
Well, I clipped the photo out of the magazine, but anyway, so. Yeah. Years later,
but let me tell you something right now. Like I was worried that you wouldn't be speaking on this thing. You're taking this. You're talking
He's
too much.
Great. Let him tell stories. Let him tell stories. I want to hear the stories.
You get one more story. That's it.
No,
I'm going to tell you a Nancy Sinatra story. So Nancy Sinatra wrote a book years later after Frank had died, called Frank and Me or whatever it was, and she recounted this birthday party. And
she was there.
No, she wasn't there.
Okay.
But she and the book she had a whole chapter about this party or this thing. She had it that the birthday party was for Joe Lewis, not Joe E. Lewis.
Oh, the boxer.
Joe Lewis, the boxer.
Yeah.
And there was no way in that year and that he turned 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got on her blog and chatted with her, in public on the blog. And she had it at the Eden Rock instead of Jelly South, and she had the person wrong and this, that, and the other. And so I said, listen, I was there. I said, I played a chord for Frank when he sang Happy Birthday. And her response back, well, Frank did a lot of parties back then. Well, I mean, she had all the data wrong, And she accused me of being somebody else who they had banned from the site, some jazz review around L.A. And that she accused me of being that dude,
Happens to the best of us with Nancy Reagan.
No, Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah. Nancy Sinatra.
That's it. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that blog isn't up there, but I screen captured the whole chat back and forth. It was amazing.
So Slayton, since you have a background in entertainment, whatever, were you surprised to find out that Forrest had gone down the path of being a comedian?
Yes, that was a slow yes. Yeah,
that's rude.
on that 12th birthday, I don't know if Forrest remembers, but I bought him a 35 millimeter camera
in Germany.
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and for your birthday, and we were all taking photographs. I became a photojournalist later on in the military, but we were all taking photographs, and we went up to Neuschwanstein. This is another story, I know, but we went up to Neuschwanstein. No, cut me off.
No, Dave, you're fine. Go ahead.
It's Dave's fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'd gone to Neuschwanstein, and it was Christmas time. And they close it because it's too much snow. And
it's the castle that looks like Disney World. There's a castle in Germany that looks exactly like the princess's castle in Disney World. And it's called Neuschwanstein. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Anyway, so it had snowed really beautifully that day. It was one of those wet snows, so it looked like everything was covered in powdered sugar, right? And there was nobody there, so we had to walk up the mountain to get to it. And it had snowed, and there was still fresh snow on the ground. And we're walking up there, and I'm walking faster than Forrest, so I get to the entrance to the castle that you can just get the picture that looks like Disney World, and it's just a breathtaking view, and so I turn around and I say, Forrest, look at, I was getting ready to say, look at this, let's get some shots, set your camera, this, that, and that, and I turn around and look at, Forrest was taking pictures of my footprints in the snow. So, so that was a pretty emotional thing. But and I mean that just sticks with me. But I mean, yeah, Forrest, this is the seventh wonder of the world in front. He's taking pictures of my footprints in the snow. But I don't think you'd ever seen snow before. I don't know.
I had seen snow already in North Carolina. I had definitely seen snow, but I just want to tell you, should have ended on the Nancy Sinatra story.
No, I thought that was a beautiful metaphor from the story, and oh man.
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me get on. I know I'm a Mermen fan. I was just watching your latest one where your mom called you, and she's a character. So
Bonnie Williamson is definitely a character.
That's right. We're doing her charity gig.
We're gonna do her charity gig. We'll send you an invite, Slayton. You can pop on down to Central Florida.
Yeah, drive on down.
With horses that help people. Is that what it is, or?
What was that?
Horses that help people.
Homeland Horses.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's like Homeland Security, but horses.
It's going to be in January. If you want to make the trip,
Hartford.
Welcome to come to the charity. But
man, I'm messing it up. Heartland Horses.
Heartland. Yeah, you don't know your mom's charity.
Heartland Horses. I'm very familiar.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Slayton, thank you, Dave. A pleasure to meet you, buddy. We'll have you on again.
Okay, you take care. I got a lot of stories.
Not only one per episode.
Nope.
You whenever
you can tell all the stories you want, Slayton.
All right, bye.
Okay. All right. I've used up my quota. Okay, you all take care.
See you, bud.
There you go.
I like him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you think he was going to come on? Just like slander me or something like that?
No. Just he's got a lot of life experience.
Yeah, he's
I wanted to get into it and find out where you fit into a lot of the timeline of the stuff, but you just wanted to cut him off. I wanted him to run. I wanted to hear seven more stories.
The whole podcast with them.
Yeah, we should. It should have been the Slayton Hour.
I don't think people want to hear the whole podcast.
So that 12. So you saw him when you were 12. When was the last time that you had contact with him before he wasn't in your life anymore?
That might have been it.
That was the last one.
Yeah, I think it was it.
What a metaphor! You were taking.
No, I talked to him after that, like on the phone for sure, and when I got into college, but I don't think I saw him until So it's been a long time, yeah. But he might know better. I mean, when you're a kid, you forget. There might be some time after.
There's just I don't know what it is yet, but there's just so much metaphor of him walking through the snow out in front of you, and then you're taking pictures of his footprints, and it's just like the when there's one set of footprints on the beach.
That poem you mean?
Yeah. Like, God, where were you? I was carrying you. But totally different. The opposite of that metaphor.
We'd never talk about God on this podcast.
Yeah, the opposite. The opposite of that. Or it's kind of like we stepped on a pop top and blew out my flip flop. Had to cruise on back home.
What's that?
That's Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, I know.
Lyric, yeah.
It's stupid.
I don't know, man. That's just, it is powerful though. That.
Should have ended on the Nancy Sinatra story.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
No, man. He should have told 3 more stories. What? So
He's
then,
a talker, man. It was like, I thought he was going to clam up. But both your mom and him, they go for it.
Yeah, well,
I guess people are used to being.
I mean, look, I 100% credit my mom for my being an extrovert, and I watched her tell stories at dinner. And my grandmother would tell stories. My grandmother just exaggerated stories, and you couldn't tell if they were true or not. My mom was better at telling a story, but punching it up. And every time she'd tell it, she'd exaggerate a little bit, or she'd cut the fat, and I'd watch her tell the same story at dinner parties over and over. And every time the story got better and she got laughs. And so I definitely think I learned a lot about my comedic style as a kid from my mom. So I don't think that's a surprised that your father and my mom are gabbers.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't. Yeah,
sure. But you didn't learn from watching him, because
I don't think so. No, because I wasn't around him.
But it could be in the genes a little bit. Could be in the genes.
It's genetic, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Luis isn't paying attention at all.
I was.
I like that.
Hey, you're not allowed to be on Tinder anymore. You're engaged.
Why do you have 2 microphones?
Remember the other one sounded like super tinny?
Yeah.
I'm going to get it checked out.
Oh, you think it's bad?
Yeah. No, hearing it back, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not good at all.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think it sounded good either, but you were like, this is my fancy new microphone. So I was like, all right.
I think I was trying to convince myself because I spent a lot of money on it. Well, not that much.
Oh, you're like, no, it sounds better than the other ones. That's why.
Third quarter.
Okay, so we're about to go to Florida. Here's some things that I want to make sure we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Get some. You're gonna bring some sort of camera, right?
Yeah.
Because we're on boats. We're gonna be on at least one boat.
Yeah. I got a couple new GoPros.
We gotta get some water wings for Louise. Do you know what water wings are?
No.
You know the things you put on your arms, the inflatable thing?
Oh, like for the children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be funny if you're in the ocean with water wings. Will you be comfortable? Can you swim at all?
I mean, I can.
No. Be honest with us.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a job interview.
I've talked to other people that do this where they're like, I'll be fine. I'm like, no. Can you swim? There's
if we drop you in a pool that's 8 feet deep, what's going to happen?
I could probably
tell me what you're going to do.
No.
Not probably.
What
are you going to do with your hands?
What can you definitely do?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I can't even answer that.
You're just going to flail, right? Like this?
I'm going to try to flail to the top, and then once I'm at the top, I will go to the edge of the pool.
You can't swim at all.
Yeah.
You cannot swim at all.
Okay. So you're going to have to wear a life jacket when you're on the boats and water wings.
Yeah, because we're not going to be able to teach you how to swim until we get to the Comedy Inn. We're definitely filming that.
Yeah, I think we can teach them to swim within hours.
Yeah. What size Speedo are you?
You're wearing a Speedo?
Talking width or length?
Your waist size. I'll bring you a Speedo.
I don't know.
Makes it easier
You're
to
gonna
teach.
Wear a Speedo? You're going to wear one of Dave's Speedos with his dick's been rolling around tonight?
Yeah. No, I have some new ones.
It's a very personal item to be wearing. There's going to be dick and ass.
Not chlorine. It's fine.
I don't know.
You know what happened?
You had a lot of barbecue, dude.
You know what happened? My bag of Speedos, my swim bag, I had a whistle in there, and the whistle was rusty. It got rusty.
Oh, yeah, got
and I have rust stains on all of my Speedos.
Looks like skid
and
marks.
It looks like I shit all of my Speedos. And I'm not gonna throw them away because they're expensive. So now when I change, where I want to have them out in the open, I'm hiding them to make sure no one sees these rusty shit marks.
This is an episode. You might as well write it up of Curb Your Enthusiasm already.
Yeah. Wait, what's the Curb tune? Stop
it. I cannot lose it.
That's gonna be a regular segment. Forrest does the Muppet song.
What else are we trying to shoot? We're gonna shoot Louise not swimming and dying, and then after that we're done shooting. I guess if she dies.
Go out on the boat, do some lobstering. You have a mask and fins you could bring?
Yeah, probably in my storage or something. Yeah, I got to go look.
Yeah, should if you have.
But Luis doesn't. Well, he can't swim. Anyways.
Yeah,
but from the surface,
we'll pick him up. We'll pick him up a Walmart mask.
No, with a
something.
life jacket, he can snorkel on the surface.
Yeah, we'll get him a Walmart.
Have you ever snorkeled?
I'll bring one of my kids' masks for him.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. We'll do some boating. We'll do some stops on the Keys on the way up. Go look at some key deer. You ever seen the key deer?
Yep.
Cute. Feed some fish. You want to feed some tarpon, Louise?
Feed some what now?
Tarpon.
I don't know what
They're
that is.
fish that get this fucking big.
Yeah.
Big silver.
Sometimes you can go out on the docks at night and they're just there in the light.
Well, no, there's a place you can feed them and halfway up on the way to Miami. Yeah. It's called the Hungry Tarpon is the restaurant, but it's like Robbie's and they rent boats and stuff like that. But they used to be told when I was back in the days, used to go. Yeah. It was free to go on there, and they had a bucket of bait fish you pay $1 for. Now I think you got to pay $5 to get in and $5 for the bucket of fish. But whatever, it's worth it. It's giant fish just eating, jumping and.
Should we send Luis up in a parasail?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I think I'm gonna hit my buddy. No, I don't think it's there anymore. Yeah, because my friend
Luis up there.
My friend's sister used to own a parasailing company in Key West, but I think it's.
I know some people.
You know some parasailing people in Key West?
Yeah, we'll see if some people have an odd number and we can just shove them in their group.
The whole trip should just be us making Louise do things like that. Yeah.
Torturing Louise.
All right, so we'll do a lot of water activities and stuff. I got some fun stuff though, but in the Key, did you ever do that comedy room that I used to book in the Keys? No,
never did it.
That was Lisa Correo to this day, who we were just speaking to, and will be on several of the shows in South Florida. I think it's the only time a check's ever bounced in comedy was that room that I booked. Oh. I didn't pay her. The other guy paid her, but it was it was this place in the Keys Look, Key West comedy is going to be great. Tom's like developed like a comedy Key West, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
is going to be great because I've played it before, and he's really managed to like make this comedy room work in the Keys and have locals on board. But the Keys is not a place for the rest of the Keys is not a place for comedy.
Yeah.
This was in the middle Keys.
Well, Key West is like actually a city, where the other ones are more like villages. They're just islands.
It's just drunk people escaping some sort of crime they've done, and whatever place they can hide. Now it's becoming super wealthy, and they're all those people are getting squeezed out. But in the middle Keys, it's just like alcoholics that like think they're going to go to a place and like participate, And it was in this place that used to be a restaurant. They were turning into a nightclub, which again, it's not going to work in the middle Keys at all, like an actual nightclub. And these like Russian guys were running it, so it's already sketchy. And they put you up at, I forget what hotel they put us up at, some shitbox. And I went there with Al Jackson one time, and it was like we couldn't even get the show going because people were just like, rah, rah. And a good friend of ours, Billy Davidson, who's a musician and lives down there, he couldn't take it anymore. I remember him standing up, and he's like, shut up. But everybody knew him because he's a musician that lives down there. And so they respected him doing that. At least I've never seen him lose it so bad. But anyways, that place ended right after Lisa. I think she did it with Ricky Cruz. That place ended up going under, and I tried to get the money back for the comics and stuff. And I heard that like those guys owed money to people to a point,
I'm sure,
where they got beaten and hospitalized with like baseball bats with spikes. I didn't even know that was a real thing. I thought that was just
by the
like
Florida Keys Mafia.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a real thing. I thought that was like fake. I've never seen a baseball bat with like actual. These guys were hospitalized to the point of near death and stuff like that. So shout out, never gonna get that money. For Lisa. I don't
one
know if
day
Ricky's check bounced and stuff too. But anyways, looking forward to the comedy Key West. The rest of the Keys don't do comedy there.
Do you remember the time that you and I did a gig together in a particular place? And because you happened to be in town, I think, and so you were going to be there. So you were like, "Oh yeah, I'll come over."
Keys?
No, this was north of here. So I didn't want to call them out by name, but you did a gig. You agreed to open for me so we could hang out one night, and then
north of here, LA.
Yeah. You don't remember this?
No.
And then you were like, hey, man, I still haven't got that check. And I was like, for real? And he's like, yeah. And the owner was supposed to send it to you. And it finally showed up. And you know how like when you have like a bunch of, like if you have scrap paper.
Oh, way north over here.
Yeah. So you just throw like, you have like a stack of scrap paper.
Yeah.
But when he finally mailed you the check, the paper he grabbed and wrapped it in and put it in the mailbox was like an IRS like notice that he was way behind on all of this.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So it's almost like an accidental explanation of why he was taking so long to pay you.
Yeah, fucking don't get in the comedy, people. We don't talk a lot about comedy in this podcast, but just don't get into it. It's a fucking shit show. There's a club. I'm not gonna tell. There's only another story I'm gonna tell because I don't like to get too much in the. But these motherfuckers, just don't get in the comedy. Just if you're out there and you're thinking about getting into this, which first of all, fuck you because you think it's easy or something. That's people are always like, I can do that. That's
got real defensive there.
Fuck you. Like, but it was a club that it's a place that booked a lot of shows around the Southeast United States, right?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and you might not know. There's a lot of those people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is one of two I'm thinking of.
No, it could be one of five. Okay. Yeah, so, and I did these shows, and it was like it was in Vero Beach, right? And I was middling. And I was supposed to get paid, I want to say it was like $100 a set or something like that, or 75 a set, whatever it was. And so then I got an email the day of the first show, and it was 4 shows. And let's say it was $100 a set, so I was due $400. And I got an email, and it was like, hey, at the end of the weekend, you're going to get a check for $1,100.
Yeah. Send us $900 or whatever.
$700.
Yeah.
Send us stuff. So that's their cut for booking this, which they don't have to do anything else other than that.
Yeah.
That's what they get paid, more than me.
Forward emails.
Probably more than the headliner, or right about what the headliner's getting paid.
Yeah.
And send this to, and if you don't send it within 30 days, all of your bookings that you have with us will be null and void, and we won't book you anything. I was like this threatening. It wasn't even like, hey, just send it.
Yeah.
So like, we're already doing something we shouldn't have to be doing, and you're threatening us. And then, so I did it, of course, because I still want to get booked by almost, but work. Then IRS time comes.
Yeah, and you get taxed on it.
I got taxed for $1,100, and I call up the people. I'm like, well, that's just how it goes. And I was like, I haven't said their name, but if you guys want to put the pieces together, fucking.
Is it 2 words? Well, I know one thing. There's a Z in it somewhere.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's not the one you're thinking of. I think there's a Z in all of them.
There's always a Z.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It's always a Z.
Anyways, don't get into this business.
All right.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. I don't give a shit. I've said at the beginning of this podcast, I'll burn bridges all fucking day. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's fucking rude.
Yeah, I had a similar situation with.
No more stories.
Yeah. No, but where I had to pay the taxes and then.
How long have we been doing this podcast?
Yeah. What quarter are we in?
4th quarter.
Slayton was like a whole quarter.
That's cool. That's the way it should be.
All right.
Should we do voicemails?
No, we only have one.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe it'll be a really interesting one that spurs an entire quarter.
We kind of went off the basics. We were talking about Florida and what we were going to do. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about all the spirit of Halloween's popping up these days. No? Hot topic?
I got to start working on I'm going to be on the Fully Loaded cruise, and I get back on Halloween Day.
So you start working on your outfit?
Yeah, I need to now because I'm not going to.
I hate Halloween.
It's the best.
I don't participate.
The best.
That's when I become whatever that religion is. It's against Halloween. What is the one?
All of them.
No, there's one that's like.
Jehovah's Witness.
Is that them?
Yeah, I think so.
What do they do? They're just against Halloween, right?
Yeah, they don't celebrate anything.
Yeah, they're against.
I thought they were just against Halloween.
They're against fun unless it's banging a cymbal and.
I just
chanting.
don't. I don't want to get dressed up because it's like I just don't.
When's the last time you've dressed up for Halloween?
Well, we were Batman and Wonder Woman for our podcast last year.
Yeah, that was just on the podcast, and I was reluctant to do that, as you know. And then I took that off as soon as we were done. That picture looks weird.
It's the best. I love it.
The mask, it looks fake. That's on it. The last time I dressed up was, I don't know. I wacky wig guy, like at a club when I was on Ecstasy one year or something like that. But it was because I was going to a club and everything. I was like, I'll just put on a wig.
Wacky wig guy?
Yeah, you just throw the wig on. You're like, yeah, I'm this guy. I got a wig.
T-shirt with a pumpkin on it.
Yeah, dude, that's 100%. I don't have kids. So if you don't have kids, you're not, if you have kids, obviously you're going to dress up and go trick-or-treating with them and do that. But if you don't have kids, to me, it's like, it's just, I don't know. I think it's fun. I see that it's fun for people. It's not for me. I'm not shitting on it. If people want to do it, go ahead and do it. It's just not for me.
You know what's funny is that every year there's, my neighborhood in Halloween looks like the neighborhood on like a commercial or on a sitcom where there's just people.
Yeah, you live in fucking Pleasantville.
But it's like where you see it on TV and you're like, that's not real. There's not that many kids all going to one house. That's in my neighborhood is like that. There's just everywhere. Right?
Yeah, see, it's another thing. I don't ever want to. I'd lock the gate. Don't come to my door. Remember when you're a kid and you're
what
like,
a Scrooge you are.
Yeah, I don't want to open door. Oh, what do we have here? A princess and a Frankenstein. Like, do you think that's my personality? I'm just like, yeah, here, let's take it.
Yeah, you don't want to see kids happy like, here's a Snickers bar.
No. Because I just look like the guy that's going to poison you. Like,
you got to turn your...
They're going to be like, don't get candy from that guy. He's a loner.
Yeah, you're going to get egged.
He's unmarried and he's old and he's got a weird dog.
Well, every year in my neighborhood...
I'm going to give out apples this year. That'll teach him.
Candied apples?
No, just straight apples, son.
Yeah, I put a razor blade
straight
in a couple
Granny
of
Smith. Yeah, that was such a myth.
It happened that's one of those things that happened once.
It didn't even happen.
One guy did it.
No. I want you to find me an incident of a razor blade being in an apple.
I'm sure it happened. I'm sure some crazy fuck did it.
How many apples have you eaten in your life?
All of them. A lot.
Okay. I want you to get an apple and get a razor blade. So it's a single-sided razor blade or a double-sided? Let's start with that.
Well, I don't know. I've never done it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so which one is it first? The double-sided is going to be, how are you even getting that in there?
God, can you imagine biting into that?
What tool are you going to use to get in there? And let's say it's a single-sided. You're telling me you're going to pick up an apple and it's going to have like a hole that's like browned and stuff. And you're going to be like, yeah, I guess it's cool to eat. Like, you're going to see a razor blade in there.
Well, that's why you need your dad to check it out and be like, this is safe.
Anyone would see a razor blade in an apple.
First of all, no kid's going to eat the apple. He's going to take it and be like...
Unless you
speak through your window.
The only way you can get
but also it's candied. They put the razor blade in, then they candy over it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the only way you can get a razor blade in is if you grew it around the apple.
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, now why are you giving these bad guys ideas?
Yeah, you put razor on the branch and you let the apple grow around it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And then you got a good thing because then you're like, yeah, I got razor blade apples for sale. And do you know how much you could charge for this? Razor blade apples, just to like psychopaths that want to hand them out, A lot of money, dude.
No, come on, that's immoral, Forrest.
I think I got a new business. I can't do it this year. I only got a month, but I'm going to start growing razor blade apples for next year.
Now our podcast can be flagged by authorities.
Not us. The apple grower will be.
Well, let me tell you something more positive.
Afterwards.
Let me tell you a positive Halloween observation. It made me so happy. Normally, every year in my neighborhood, you can tell what the popular, like, there's always like a trend, like whatever, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come out with a movie that year, and then half the kids are like Roadblocks or whatever, or Mind. What's the one? Well, there's always something that's popular that year. Mm-hmm. Well, one year I couldn't figure out why, but like there was tons of kids that were just dressed up like hot dogs, and I'm like, it's just such a generic costume, and there's nothing like going on in pop culture that made people do that. But for some reason, just a ton of kids that year were like, I want to be a hot dog. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, there's no end to that?
No, that's it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say and.
No, it's just a hot dog was the popular costume that year.
Okay.
There's just a bunch of hot dogs running around my neighborhood.
And there's a video game. Like, what was it?
No, nothing.
What's the fighting game? I can't remember.
Mortal Kombat?
No, the one kids play, not the ones we play.
Oh. I don't know.
Anyone? Gen Z over there?
Why?
Super Smash Bros is what I got.
Hey, you're not single anymore. Why are you on Tinder
they would
over
dance.
there?
All the kids would do the dances because when you kill, when they would do dances.
Oh,
afterwards.
Fortnite. Right?
Fortnite.
Yeah. That was a hot dog in Fortnite.
That was gonna kill me.
Yeah, Fortnite. Are you Gen Z?
No, millennial.
Yeah. Millennial's the only one I know. Like, I'll just use that reference for if we ever talk about generations, I'm like, what a millennial.
Gen Z,
I don't know baby boomers. I don't know Gen Z. I don't know.
Your kids might be on that tail end of Gen Z. Like Carter might be.
What do we?
There's usually there's a block of ages. Yeah. We're like Gen X, I think, right?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Because there was Gen X, then there was millennials after? Yeah.
Millennials is such a negative connotation. It's just like, ugh, millennials.
They're better than Gen Z.
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Well, yeah, every generation's worse than the one before it.
I don't even think of myself as a generation, though. Yeah. Well, we always get blamed. No matter what, you're like, you guys ruined the planet. I'm like, you think we did it?
Nah.
You know how many generations before us have been fucking shit up? Like, you think it's our generation? I was like, it was fine before you guys did it.
I actually think our parents' generation was, 1, the most fun, 2, the worst.
Yeah,
for long-term effects on everyone else's
if you do a chart of fun versus bad people, it's there's only one line on there. Like, there's not 2 lines in it. It's just like, yeah.
I think our parents, 1, knew how to party, but at the same time ruined the housing structure in the world.
That I thought you meant just there was a lot of
just things like that.
A lot of intolerance and racism.
That too.
Yeah, and just a lot. Well, back in our days, you didn't see people like that walking around. You got crime all over the place now. Back in our no crime.
Yeah.
There was no murders. I was like, it was pretty bad.
We were perfect.
Anyways, I'm perfect.
All right.
All right. We have one thing. We have one
voicemail.
The end of this podcast is all over the place. I know we did.
We're going to be doing a live podcast, if we haven't mentioned it yet, this Friday in Miami. We have, how many total shows do we have in Florida? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shows. So they're going to be more stand-up heavy, but this one is going to be more of a live podcast. So we would like to do a voicemail segment during that show. So call in this week if you could before Friday and leave us.
Friday the 22nd is when we're doing.
Yeah, leave us comments, leave us questions. It could be a celebration of our podcast, which we've been doing for over a year. You guys know that because we made a big deal about the 1-year episode because Luis is on top of it and realized it was our 1-year episode and we had champagne here and we wore tuxedos. If you guys don't remember.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know.
So help us out. Leave some voicemails. Our number is 347 Mervert.
Wow.
Was that right?
Whoa.
347 Mervert.
Where's the confetti?
They've got something correct.
I forget if this is the right button. Let's hope it is.
Yeah.
How about Dave Williamson?
Yeah, you were doing a lot of those, and now you stopped again.
For like 30 minutes.
Yeah, 2 episodes. You were doing it, and people were loving it. and then you stopped.
They're still not updated from my podcast. That could be handy.
All right, why don't you? We're a year into this. Why don't you?
Wait, this from your podcast?
Yeah.
What else do you have on there?
These are better than ours.
Yeah, Jace, we need some of these. We've got the Michael Biamonte, but we need some like musical.
Oh,
stuff.
I'll see if Michael Biamonte wants to come out.
Yeah, tell him to come out.
Okay.
Dang, I guess. Where does he live?
No, we'll have him come to live podcast and he can introduce us.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to just waste his Friday night doing that.
No, he likes to hang.
Okay. What else do you have on there?
That could be handy.
For sure.
Well, you could be using these.
I don't know. Like, even when I did my podcast, I didn't know which button did what. So it was always
You should have done at least 7 of these when my dad called. Yeah, this would have been great. Yeah.
Surprise, bitch.
No, that's me.
That was you?
Yeah.
You were saying that?
Yeah. I said it during a podcast and I made it a button.
Surprise, bitch.
That's you?
I'm a different guy. I was a different guy on my podcast.
Hey, why don't you do that? Why don't you make buttons out of our like sound
Yeah.
bites?
Oh, we haven't done the TikTok thing today yet. It's your turn.
My turn.
Yeah.
All right.
I think what I did last time with the football thing was good.
Yeah.
I think more of those because on TikTok there's always like what's a very popular song?
The one that's like you're my little boo thing. Boop, boop. That's like the popular one now.
No, it's something like more classic.
Oh. Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, that's a good one. You do that, but then you do a jank version of it.
Yeah.
They love it on TikTok.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Should I do that one for today?
Go for it. Yeah.
All right, Ray. Who let the dogs out? Me. I'm sorry about that.
No, just do the song.
Oh, just the song?
Yeah, do the
All
whole
right.
thing.
Should I just sing it or should I do like a...
Do your own interpretation of it.
Okay. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't watch TikTok ever, right?
I mean...
So what they... Maybe it's not who let the dogs out. So like a famous one is like they'll show a place where all these tourists are and it'll be like this epic picture of like one person there and it's like this glacier and they're like, oh, it's awesome. And then they show reality and it's all these fucking people and it looks kind of muddied and gross.
Yeah.
So they'll do like
the janky version and the good version.
Yeah. And like, you know which one would be good is Big Pimpin'. That'd be a good one too.
Like Big Pimp and...
Forget it. Let's do it that way.
I'm gonna go viral with one of these before you.
Like Creep, you know, song Creep by Radiohead.
Yeah.
I can't do the whole song because if I just went beep, 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 beep,
Seems like you're a one note
you
pony.
keep interrupting me.
I mean, you keep doing the same trick.
Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. That would work, but you interrupted me. So
Sorry.
Let's do the voicemail. Let's get the fuck out.
Yeah, let's do it. I gotta poop.
Fucking goddamn stupid.
It's going to be a downer. So
What do you mean?
I just read the transcript. It's,
Oh boy.
It's bad.
I mean,
Are we allowed to play it?
Are they slandering us?
no. It's just the topic. The topic.
5-star review.
They're
Is it Richard? Is he hurt?
no. Yeah, Richard's
Where is
dead.
Richard?
Oh, I'm worried about him.
Did you reach out to him?
No.
Is it
keep
okay?
saying you're going to.
Like, should we call Richard? Because we have his number. We could reach out to him if we wanted to.
Well, it's like probably 2 a.m. there.
We should totally reach out to Richard.
All right, we'll play this, and I'm gonna look. Here you go. I'm gonna look up his info.
Well, I have Richard's number here, but regardless, here we go.
Yeah, it's like 5:30 in the morning there or something like that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Listen.
Hey guys, Zach from Massachusetts. I'm working, so I'm going to keep this brief, but I wanted to comment on the episode I'm listening to right now. You guys are talking about the rescue dogs in 9/11. The thing about rescue dogs is they get very, very excited when they find survivors, but when they find a deceased person, it does not make them happy. So especially during 9/11, they had to remove the dogs from the area at certain times and play with them because they were getting extremely depressed when they weren't finding survivors and they were only finding cadavers. It's actually an interesting thing that people don't realize about training dogs is how into it they really are. It is their job, and their job is to save people, and they know that and they feel that. So something to bring up in the next episode. Enjoy it, guys. Talk to you soon.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
After we did that app, because it was on 9/11,
Yeah.
we did on that, and I saw a thing on Instagram or something, and it was like this tribute to all the rescue dogs. It was like the saddest thing ever because they all had like health issues too, like all the other workers.
So I was thinking
like,
about that too.
I don't want to fucking see this thing, and that's why I thought he was going to bring. I thought he was going to say he had a rescue dog or something. It's
no, so I remember I was talking about my mom's friend Mitzi who went up there with her dog. Yeah. That dog actually did die, earlier than it should because it had some sort of cancer that they attributed to its time in the rubble.
Yeah, Jon Stewart, he advocated for all the first responders, but no one advocated for the dogs. You need to get McGruff in there, who's a famous dog.
Well, you're all good boys. You're good boys.
Some girls.
You're good girls, good boys.
You don't think girls can
good
find
puppies.
bodies?
Good puppies.
They probably have better noses.
Oh, you're a good boy. You're a good girl. You're a good doggy. That's like one, right?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
You should keep doing that.
Yeah.
Do it all the way out.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. You good boy. I love you. You good boy. Who's a good boy? Oh, good boy. Oh, you're a silly boy. You're a good boy. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that might be the best one. That one actually.
Dave's finest one.
I think that one. I mean, I'm being completely
TikTok,
honest.
correct.
I'm being completely honest. That one might be get used. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got to get
because everyone posts about their dogs.
Yeah, a lot of dog activity on there. People love it. All right, get that one on off the press.
Woo!
Dogs. We'll do the football one every Sunday, like you said. We'll release that, and then we're done.
All right, come see us this week, guys. We're in Florida. I won't even give other dates. Make sure you're following us at Dave W Comedy and at Forrest Shaw on social medias, and we'll see you in Florida. We're excited. Leave some voicemails for us. 347 Mermen.
The Mermen.